Larry is a yes man.
Hysterical, in a funny way, not crazy.
Loud.
Maybe a little crazy.
Charismatic.
Big-hearted.
Fun.
Determined.
Optimistic.
Very compassionate.
Oh, he's just so adorable.
The traits that make Dr. Larry Wolk so admired by his peers are the same ones that make him a hero to every child he sees.
There's no side effects, there's no downside to it. I chose pediatrics because to me, when kids are sick, they act like sick kids. When adults are sick, they act like sick kids. So you might as well take care of the age-appropriate population and be a pediatrician.
As a pediatrician and the founder of Rocky Mountain Youth Clinics for underserved Colorado kids and their families, Dr. Wolk is living out his dreams.
When I went to medical school, I felt like I was becoming a doctor so that I could seek out and find those kids and people who needed the most help.
Larry Wolk's love of medicine and children started long before med school. His dad was a pediatrician, his mother a nurse, and Larry loved his summers as a camp counselor.
I always found myself in these positions of trying to teach or lead kids, and so I always felt that kids have so much hope and so much optimism.
Larry's professional dream became reality in 1992 when he started Rocky Mountain Youth with one clinic. The story of its success tells us a lot about Larry as a person.
We had charts in 3 of the drawers, and it was only about a third of the way full. Larry would probably look in there and say 2/3 possibility rather than a third full.
I don't think he knew or I ever dreamed how big it would become. His vision just grew and grew and grew.
And we would look at him and think, how are we going to do this? We're barely making payroll every month. And he'd say, we'll work it out. And we always did, I mean, all the time. And that's when, you know, Carol coined the phrase, the luck of Larry. We'd always make it by the luck of Larry.
Luck and determination.
I like to try to figure out how, not why you can't do something, but how we can.
The challenges I think that he would put in front of us just kept us going.
Larry challenged his staff and always worked with them as a teammate, not a traditional boss.
Every decision that was made was a community decision. It was never a dictatorship. It was always, if you have a better way of doing this, if you have another idea, let's hear it, let's do it, let's try it.
He just really showed that he cared for his staff, and that, I think, is what made it feel like home.
Through it all, Larry reminded everyone why they were there.
He would always say it's about the kids, and it's always been about the kids.
Another thing I believed is that we could do so much more for children's health when we put down the stethoscope or we put down our traditional tools of the trade and really tried to make this a medical home for kids. I played Santa Claus for years, which was really fun and really interesting, and gosh, such a great way to, again, connect with kids and their families, just like we're part of and they're part of our home.
Larry's big heart and progressive ideas for healthcare translated into a bit of national fame, but more importantly, fortune for Rocky Mountain Youth.
So passionate about what he does and the kids he was trying to serve and the needs in the community, and really my instincts were just to give him a hug. But that's not what he came for. He came for a grant, but he did get the grant and he did get a hug.
Larry is a charismatic leader who inspires people to want to follow him. He's a great listener. He always asks the right questions.
Dr. Wolk is now Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment and the state's Chief Medical Officer. But once a week, he gives his time to his patients at Rocky Mountain Youth Clinic's Denver office.
He's joking, he's laughing, he's having a good time.
One of my sayings I actually taught to my father was, lead with your funny bone.
Bartender, got any grapes?
He just brings the energy up for everybody.
Larry's stepdaughter, Andy, is a nurse at Rocky Mountain Youth.
Larry inspired me to go into the medical field. Look at that face. Oh, I'm so proud of him. And it wasn't about even serving this larger population, it was just to make sure that kids without insurance could get quality care and their parents didn't have to worry about how much it would cost.
This will always be my passion. It's sort of like my baby. So my baby's now 20 years old. So I want to see my baby continue through adulthood and get to, you know, his or her 30s or 40s and beyond.
Dr. Wolk, Larry, thank you for all that you're doing as the Chief Medical Officer for the state, for everything you do every day, but especially thank you for Rocky Mountain Youth Clinics.
I've known you since you were this high. Even then, I recognized that you were smart, that you saw the big picture, and that you were extremely dedicated to your patients and families.
My time with you inspired me to go on to medical school and follow in your footsteps as a physician.
You're a big inspiration to me in my career as a provider, and you're a big reason why I chose to come back and work for Rocky Mountain Youth Clinics.
You've made a difference in thousands of lives, and we're all grateful.
Because of you, we've been able to open a lot of doors for patients throughout the community.
You keep everyone laughing, patients, staff, and families alike.
It's been 20 years, it's amazing. I can't believe how much we've been able to accomplish. Your family is so proud of you and so proud of Rocky Mountain Youth.
No better words to say that you're a hero, Larry, in many, many ways.
Thank you for making the homeless youth of Denver a priority.
Thank you for all you've done for the community and for this clinic.
Thank you so much for all you've done for so many kids.
Thank you is a small word, but it comes from my heart. Thanks, Larry.